That's right. That's right. And as always, during a Monster Week in Sports, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know every time we come on live. Because right now, I don't know if my computer's working slow or something's wrong, but we ain't got no viewers except for ourselves. So let's kick it. Anyway,
it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I ain't worried about it. So great week of sports. This week was the opening of the NFL season. So super excited. Mm-hmm. That also means we will never be having a show on Thursday nights. We'll never have a show on Monday nights, and we will never do a show on Sundays. So any other day of the week is plausible and plausible, but not those days. Anyway, it started off with the Buccaneers and the Cowboys, and oh my God, what a game that was.
Yeah,
that
it was
great.
And $500 seats.
I heard.
Listen, you can afford it. Stop acting like you can't. Okay?
Yeah, but Tampa? Come on.
I'm just saying. So it was a great game, though. It was a battle. It was a duel. It was a lot closer than I expected. They just gave Brady too much time with the ball, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
right? He drove down the field at the end. They kicked that field goal, if I'm not mistaken.
They gave him a minute left. It was a minute something left.
Yeah. But it was a hell of a game. A couple things I was surprised about in that game was Ezekiel Elliott couldn't do shit. Yeah. A little surprised about that. But, I mean, Bucs do have one of the best rushing defenses in the league, so not overly surprised, right? A couple games after that were complete shockers that blew my mind, right? I think the biggest shocker to me was the Saints and the Green Bay Packers. Now, for those of you who didn't watch that game and don't care about football, you can go ahead and skip ahead. But the Green Bay Packers got blown out 38-3. Now, here's the surprising part. Aaron Rodgers had 133 yards passing with 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's never done that in his career, in the entire time he's been in the NFL. On the other side of the ball, we had 143 yards passing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, by Jameis Winston, who is the new starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. But he had 5 touchdowns.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Running touchdowns? He must have ran it all.
Passing.
No way. Yeah. 155, you said?
I'm pretty sure it's something like that. It wasn't even 150 yards, but 5 touchdowns. He had like 0 passing yards and still came away with 5 touchdowns. That's because the defense was making those picks and making those plays, but it was just it was ridiculous and stuff that he got 5 touchdowns. So
yeah, they got their ass kicked. My wife was like, "Can you believe Green Bay got their butt kicked?"
But
like, really?
Handled. Then you had the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Buffalo, which everybody said was a pick to win the Super Bowl, and they just got handled. I mean, they signed that deal. TJ Watt signed that deal, and he came out to play, baby. He was making plays left and right all over the field. That was a big shocker. The Sunday night game, kind of expected, right? There was a couple other shockers we'll talk about in a minute, but then it was amazing. You had a great game on Thursday night, and then the Monday night game. The Monday night game was incredible. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
This game, first of all, was against the Raiders and the Ravens. Okay. And they opened up for the first time the new stadium and everything like that in Las Vegas, which was gorgeous, mind you. They call it the blackout because it's supposed to be everything black for the Raiders. Right. And this game goes into overtime. Okay. And then in overtime, this guy, Derek Carr, threw this pass, right? That looked, and Edwards caught the ball and he runs down the sideline. He dives for the end zone and the entire stadium thinks he scores the touchdown, right? They put him up, hands go up, right?
They're running.
And the thing is now every scoring play is under review though. But both sides walk onto the field like the game's over. And they're congratulating each other. They're talking to each other. Helmets are off. And then next thing you know, you see the referee go over to John Harbaugh, who's the coach for the Ravens, and is like, all right, so actually what happened is the ball was down at the 1 inch line. Yeah. So he technically didn't score. Do you want to just end the game or do you guys want to go ahead and proceed? He's like, oh, fuck you. I'm proceeding.
Oh, that's funny.
Listen, hold on. So they call everybody back onto the field. Okay. They're on the 1 inch yard line. They run a quarterback sneak and get stuffed. Derek Carr cannot get into the end zone.
Yeah.
The very next play, these idiots false start. The one thing you can't do, he did a hard count. You can't do that. They false start, they lose 5 yards. So now they're 5.5 yards away. The very next play, This dude goes to throw the ball to the receiver in the end zone, goes through the receiver's hands, bounces off the crown of the guy's helmet of the defender, lands in the other defender's hands, interception in the end zone.
Yep.
Okay.
He should have had that ball.
Dude, it was right now, you went from literally, you talk about the highs and lows. You went from in overtime thinking the game's over. You're walking off the field, headed to the locker room to, oh my God, we just gave a turnover and now we can lose this game. Lamar Jackson, they get the ball, they start driving down the field. Next thing you know, he does a running play up the middle. They punch the ball out and it's a fumble. Okay. The Raiders get the ball back. And then they decide they're going to do an all-out blitz against them. And he literally just drops back, no one's coming, and just literally just throws it like 40 feet in the air for the biggest lob pass ever. And there's nobody near the receiver. And he just literally catches that shit and just walks into the end zone to end the game. Just completely mind-blowing.
That whole place just blew. Like,
dude, the place was so crazy with drunken idiots and so loud that the one rule you always have in football is the home crowd knows when your offense has the ball, you shut up. You don't talk. Yep. Literally, David Carr the entire game is like, shh, shh, telling the crowd to quiet down because they're getting false start after false start because it's just too loud in the stadium. It was nuts. Such a great game. What'd you take away from that game?
That game was fucking, to me, I was like, yo, this was a fucking game.
It was way better than, well, it was similar in a way to another game that was pretty close. Fumble, kind of lost it, which is a little hurting because I have him on a fantasy team and I hope he doesn't get benched. But how about them Patriots, baby? Same record as them Giants.
Starting off 0-1.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the game. I know you watched it.
No, I didn't watch it. I was at work.
Oh, okay.
My wife watched it.
I got off early, so
I tried catching up with it with on SportsCenter, and all they did is gave props to Mike Jones, which he did good. I mean, they just graded him.
Mike Jones, all that, but
I didn't get
the rapper. The rapper's out there. Mike Jones.
I said Mike.
No, you didn't. You said Mike. We'll play that back later.
Nah,
you said Mike.
I said Mike.
Mike Jones.
I put two together. I was like, yo, rapper and a baller. Damn.
Right? Like this guy got it all.
Yeah, and I thought it was, that's all they talked about, and I'm like, okay. So I didn't get to see any great highlights. I was like, okay.
There wasn't a lot of great highlights. The thing was they had the ball, they're driving down the field, plenty of time left, and they're gonna score. It looks like, and the running back goes up the middle and fumbles it, and that was it. That was the end of the game.
Yeah.
So
I was just like, oh my god, we're gonna start off 0-1.
Go ahead, Phoenix.
Now the only thing that surprised me the most was in WWE.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Big E as the champ, the WWE champion.
Okay.
Some big old dude. Yeah, because Bobby Lashley had the title for a while, and he was just running through everybody. And Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley were fighting for the title on Monday.
Is this the one that
the money?
Was this the one that was in DC?
No, well, I don't know where it was.
Oh, well, I got a buddy of mine who went to the one of the matches in DC. I don't know which night it was. So I don't know if it was Thursday, or the Raw or the, what's the other one?
SmackDown.
I don't know which one he went to.
Yeah, no, it was on Raw. It was literally on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys know the Money in the Bank briefcase? I don't know if you guys remember that concept.
Yeah, that's old, isn't that? They brought that back?
They've been had it.
Yeah.
So Big E has the contract, and on social media, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cash it in on Monday." And I was like, why do you have to announce it? Like, just keep it as a surprise. That's the whole point. So whatever. They're having the title match. And I was in my room. So I was like, I listened to it a little bit. And then I was like, let me go outside. Let me go in the living room. Let me see what's going on. And I walk in to Big E cashing it in on Bobby Lashley. And I was like, I'm going to sit down real quick. Hold up. This is going to get good. And then it goes to commercial. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm in the living room, hype. And I got to see a commercial. Them bitches. But anyways, so the commercial ends, and I mean, your Bobby is like this big old dude. I mean, I was like, yo, this dude's cut. And they fight for like 5 minutes, and all you see is Big E just do the big ending, dropping him from his shoulders. He raises that title, and I was like, it's fucking go time. It's about time. That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that.
So, like, who's Big E?
He used to go by Big E Langston. I don't know his real name.
Okay.
But have you guys heard of the New Day?
What?
Like Kofi
A New Day?
Kingston.
No, I don't know any of the wrestlers
group of
right
people.
No. Okay, I gotta catch up
so,
with my wrestling.
Yeah, I gotta start looking into this
so
shit.
it's Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E. They were in this group called the New Day for like several years. They had multiple titles, like tag team titles. And then Kofi Kingston went on his own for a bit, and he became champion. He did his own thing. And no, I'm sorry, Big E went on his own. So they were like, hey, we're gonna branch you off. So he went on his own. He was trying to just make a name for himself. And then Paul Heyman, the Brock Lesnar's rep, they were on a Talking Smack podcast.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman goes, if you want to do something, like you got to actually want it. You got to stop babying and stop being. Basically, he called him a bitch. And I was like, oh shit! And this was months ago. And then all you see is Big E like just start his singles run, and then he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. So he has the briefcase and he's holding it. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna cash it. And then he kept teasing it every week. And then we get to Monday, and then that's when it happened. Like that's all you saw was just him. His buddies came out to congratulate him. It was a moment. That was my moment on Monday.
Very cool. Very cool. Real quick before we hop into the topics, because you brought something up that reminded me when you said you don't know people's real names. Did you see the advertisement Burger King's doing, copying McDonald's? Have you guys seen that?
No,
I didn't see that.
So you know how McDonald's has celebrity meals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So they have different celebrities who like they tell what they like to eat, and they have a
like Jay Bodney had one and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Burger King decided they're going to copy that idea. But in order to make it different, what they're doing is they're taking the celebrity and they're not allowing them to use their celebrity name. They have to use their real name. So
really?
So one of them so one of the people for Burger King is Nelly, right? The rapper, not our Nelly.
Yeah.
The Nelly rapper, right?
Yeah.
And so what it does is they do it where Nelly's like, he's in front of the meal and they're like, oh, but you can't use your name. I don't remember what the guy's real name is. So then you see like the non-rapper looking version of Nelly walk in, and it's still him and it has his real name on it and shit. There's some chick that's doing the same thing. She's like an artist of something, and they make her use her real name. Like they're trying to do celebrity meals, but not celebrity. You know what I mean? It was so weird. Check out the commercials though. If you haven't seen them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at them because it must be weird.
Yeah, it's just funny to me, you know. It's kind of like when I was watching the Thursday night game. So the Thursday night game with Tampa Tom or whatever, every commercial is basically his commercial. Like, you know, it was the T-Mobile hit one about him and Gronk, and then they had the Subway one where you literally
Subway one, I actually thought it was a real fragrance.
I thought it was a fragrance.
I was like, oh
too.
Shit, I'm getting that fragrance.
And then you find out it's the oh my goodness, that shit was so good. I hate Tom Brady, but his commercials are funny.
I was like, babe, Tom Brady got a fragrance. She was like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, yes, he does. And she's like, nope, it's a Subway commercial. And then that's when I see the bread. I was like, what the fuck?
Also, did you watch? So you watched the Monday night game? Did you watch the simul broadcast?
No, remember I was getting home.
Dude, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning's broadcast, it was just fucking hilarious. First of all, they don't give you any real commentary during the football game, right? They'll talk a little bit here and there about the game, but they'll have guests on and stuff like that, and they're literally just like talking about stuff, and they start talking shit to each other literally during it. Like, he was like, so one of the people that came on was Charles Barkley, and Eli talked shit to Peyton how Charles beat him in a celebrity match, right? Because they were paired up with people. Then Ray Lewis came on, and Eli was talking shit about, you know, Peyton going against him and stuff like. It was funny, but the funniest thing to me was Peyton took shots at Tom Brady during it. So they were talking about how the jersey's number changed and how Tom's like, oh, like he's literally talking shit because Tom Brady doesn't like the jersey change. He's like, all you have to do, Tom, is watch film, learn their numbers, and you're gonna know what position they are. Okay, it's not a big deal, and just literally talking smack about Tom Brady during the broadcast.
I gotta see that.
Loved it.
I gotta see that.
We got the right stuff.